guys. It has been a minute. Been busy, had a little project I had to take care of. But I'm out here, as you can see today. Got the bike up on the jack, fixing to wash it. Rode home in the rain the other day, and got a little nasty. We had a storm come through one night, blew a bunch of twigs and stuff up in the carport. Got rain on the bike again, so got a benefit ride coming up tomorrow that leaves out in Tupelo, comes back here to Pontotoc, and I hope I'm going to be able to make that ride, which I believe I will, unless I'm trying to sell the old camper out there, unless I got somebody scheduled to come look at it. I'm going to try to make that ride tomorrow, which will be that July the 20th. So it's been all last weekend trying to finish that camper up. So it's been probably 15 days or so since I recorded any content. Sorry guys, it's just got to get the cow out of the ditch, so they say. It's a saying down here in the South, if you're not familiar with that. Cow's in the ditch, you got to get it out. Everything else is on hold. So anyway, about to clean the bike up, get it rolling. But before I do that, while I had everything out, I was going to go ahead and make a little video about some of the equipment that I use to record with when I do my riding, when I do moto vlogging and stuff, which I know, don't get me wrong guys, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that's got a lot better setup than I do, better audio, etc. But I've had a couple people ask about some of the stuff that I use, so I'm just going to use this opportunity to go ahead and kind of go over what I'm using at the moment. First off, let me go ahead and tell you what I do. Most of my main recording with from my helmet is my DJI Action 3 camera, and this is it. She goes up to 4K. I've never had any issues with this thing freezing up or anything. The only deal that I had, was my trip to the Delta when I was trying to hit some of the Mississippi Blues Trail stuff, and I think that was a setting. What happened on there. You guys can see. Let me cut this. You guys can see this. I went down here, I hit this this color format. When it went to DC like, it turned image quality off. So turn it back to normal, it turns enhanced image quality on. So that's the only thing I can think of that would have caused my video to mess up like that. And I know when I did that video and I uploaded that little clip, by the time I'd moved it in my computer and it processed up to YouTube, it ran smooth, but that was not the case. I could not edit that stuff. So anyway, I think that's what happened. And this is my setup that I use for that, and it's got really good, I think, really good external audio. I think maybe the GoPros have a little bit better external audio, like just the audio that the camera's picking up, or I guess you'd call that internal audio. But this one does just fine for me. Picks up really good, and it's got a port in the side right here that comes up. That's where I plug my external mic in. It runs to my helmet, and yeah, this thing does great for me, man. Comes with this the Action combo, comes with this handheld thing right here, and I mean, it extends up pretty tall right there, so it'll extend up so you can get up above your head if you need to, or whatever. So that's what I use for that. Well, look at this. This is my other camera that I use. This is an Akaso Brave 7 LE, and this was the first camera I ever bought. I bought it before I made my run up to the Tail of the Dragon, and I actually just bought it because I wanted to record the ride for myself, just to document it so I could watch it, friends could watch it. And I'll tell you a story about the Tail of the Dragon later. I'll save that for another video. But I bought this one to have for that trip, and I usually run it right here. I'll put it just screws onto this thing up here. I got this off of Amazon, and I will try to put a link to all this stuff in the description. But it just mounts right there, and of course you can loosen it there, reposition it however you want to. Usually try to keep it closer to the windshield so it kind of keeps a little wind off of it. But also, on top of this, separately, I bought this thing here that goes in. If you'll watch this, you're going down the road, this thing is magnetic. You can unlock it and that whole mount pulls up. See the cobwebs? Man, this thing. Anyway, so that whole thing will pull up. It's got a magnet on the bottom, and you can use it, you know, to get field shots or side shots, whatever. And then when you put it back in there, it just will click in with a magnet and you lock it back. You do have to lock it. Now, I was riding with a buddy of mine. We were going down a really rough highway one time, and I had it set up a little bit higher, and when I had unlocked this, you can tighten that up right there, so you can kind of position it however you want to. But I came back down, I set it in there, either when I set it back or when I was taking it out, but I unlocked it, and the road was so bumpy, it did jar that thing out of there. So I mean, it's not foolproof, but it's pretty convenient to just like put the camera back on, take it off if you need to get some different angles or whatnot. So I highly recommend that. I think I actually saw that the first time. I think John from Cycle Fanatics was telling about this, and I ordered that. I love it. Works great, man. If y'all need something like that, I would highly recommend integrating this into your camera setup if you don't have one. And of course, I don't run like an Insta360 or anything like that. May get one day. It's really cool, but now the way I understand it, you have to edit, kind of like pre-edit, then export, then edit again. So try to minimize the amount of editing, but I'll probably add one to the arsenal or the repertoire one day. But that is it, and I'll show you. Let me get something else right here. My DJI camera has an audio setting on it. When you hook an external mic up, you can go in there and adjust your decibel levels. I have it set all the way to the bottom, which I think is a -12 decibels. And sometimes even then, running the mic straight into the camera, you still end up with a little bit of clipping. So I'd seen this online. This small section right here at the end, this is the part that plugs into the DJI camera for the external mic. And what I did, I ordered this because I saw somebody recommending this on a video. But it plugs in, and what this makes your wire a little bit longer. It's kind of a headache to deal with. But this is an inline volume control. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's got some marks on there. So you can plug this in, keep my decibel level set all the way down, and then I'll usually run this up wide open and then back off of it, maybe about between full volume and half volume, somewhere in there. And then you can edit your volume from your mic and post edit to, you know, fine tune it a little bit. But my helmet's set up. Of course, guys, this is my new replacement Sena. It's working good so far. And I do have a pin lock on the way for it. The new helmet they sent me, the visor was pin lock ready, so that's great. But I am running a chin mount, camera mount on this. Got it set up. it works really good. You guys know I had an issue with one before, but like I said, it's because I bumped something when I had the camera mount on it, and I think that's what messed it up, kind of broke the seal loose, and I had issues with it after that. But went ahead and got that set up on this camera. It does really good. And let me raise this up, I'll show you guys. I apologize for the camera angles. I probably should have set a tripod up or something for this. But my mic cable comes in here. This is what hooks into the inline volume control right here, and I just got it run up kind of behind the padding of the helmet. And if you can see right here, I ran the mic right out from the cheek pad right there, and I ran it up inside the foam cover of the Sena Bluetooth mic. And as I said in the other video, these Bluetooth mic on this Sena is great, but I just ran it up and kept it on the back side of it, so it'd be a little bit shielded from any wind coming in around the visor, and put the foam cover on the Sena mic back over all of it. And it works pretty good for me, man, when I don't have any I tend to not have a whole lot of clipping or anything in there. With the way I've got it set up and I'm doing it now, so works fine for me. But it does give you a little bit of extra control having the decibel setting on the DJI, the inline volume control, and then of course the post-edit audio manipulation that you can do. So I believe that's it, guys, for my moto vlog setup. That's what I'm running right now. And one thing I'll tell you, I did buy the Akaso Brave 7 LE, like I said, for the trip when I went up to the Smoky Mountains first time. The camera is a pretty good camera. It's a lot cheaper than a GoPro or DJI or something like that. The only thing is the internal audio, if you use it to record yourself or talking to, like I'm doing it in the DJI right now, the Akaso doesn't have as good a mic pickup on it as this DJI does, so it doesn't pick up as well. It's gonna be a little bit, volume's gonna be lower on it. And on that trip I did end up having some footage, especially when I left Deals Gap and was headed up to Fontana Dam. There were some really pretty sections on the road right there. Of course, it was October, leaves were falling across the road. But sometimes on the Akaso, it usually doesn't do it when I'm holding it, taking shots of fields or something like that. But sometimes when it was mounted to the bike, the stabilization on it was lacking a little bit, so it might be clear, and then you might have, a second or two where it kind of vibrates and gets a little blurry. And it was doing that quite a bit then. So some of that ride I wasn't able to include in that video because it was kind of annoying to me, and if I didn't want to watch it, I didn't want to put it on there for somebody else to try to watch. So that's it. And this thing is only frozen up on me one time, and it was on that trip. When I was coming back, I was right in the rain. I was coming into Huntsville, I believe. I was coming into Huntsville, Alabama, and I was recording some stuff. I reached up and mashed it to cut it off, to turn the power off, and it wouldn't turn off, and it just wouldn't cut off. I hear that's a common problem with GoPros, but this one has only done that to me one time, and I had to wait until I pulled over the next time and actually had it in a rainproof case, pulled it out of it, and had to pull the battery out to get it to cut off. So I mean, it's got its flaws, but it does a pretty good job, for something like that. But the Akaso Brave 7 LE does not have any ports or anything on there to run an external mic to. So I don't know if they've changed that or not, but the one I've got doesn't. So you're stuck with only internal audio on that. So you can't put it on and run a mic to it. So keep that in mind. But if you're looking for I believe a decent, secondary camera that you're just wanting to get some side shots of, you know, or pick up some scenery here and there, shoot back at you, video you when you're on a bike. If y'all watch my videos, everything that I've got, like when the camera's pointed back at me, any selfies, so to speak, like that, when I'm showing the road behind me, or generally shooting fields, you know, off to the side, it's all done with that Akaso. It does shoot in 4K, and it does great for that. For me, if I'm not relying on that solely for the majority of my video. And like I said, the videos I took when I went up to Tennessee and North Carolina, when I rode the tail of the Dragon and that stuff, I'm not talking in any of that because it doesn't have an external mic. I didn't even have a helmet, you know, mic set up or anything at that time, so there's no moto vlogging going on. It was just video and music, and said I was just getting into video at that time. But anyway, said some of that's a story for another video. But that's it, guys. I can't think of anything else. I do use when I put everything in my laptop. I started out using a Shotcut, a free Shotcut program to edit with, but when I started using my DJI and trying to process 4K video, it was lagging a lot. I couldn't even put it in proxy. It was way too slow to edit, so I downloaded a free version of CapCut for desktop, and that's what I use all the time to edit my videos. It's really simple, really easy to catch on to, and that's what I use all the time. So if you guys are looking for a program or something, I can recommend that. It's very user friendly, and I think does a good job. Anything, you know, that I want to do with it. So that is pretty much it, guys. I am fixing to get the water turned on and get this bike washed off and move on to the rest of the rat killing I got to do for today. So appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna keep this one short. Hopefully we'll be able to make that benefit ride tomorrow. If so, I'll get some footage of that, and we will get that out so you guys can see that. So y'all gotta stay safe out there. Hope y'all have a good day, and we will catch y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.